The stars burned bright against the black void as Captain Jack Walker stood on the bridge of the Vigilant Asterisk. Through the main view screen, he watched two alien fleets tear each other apart. Bright flashes of weapons fire lit up space like a deadly light show. "Record everything," Jack ordered his crew. "Every shot, every move." For over 50 years, humans had watched the great galactic war between the Dominion and the Federation. Both sides thought humans were too weak to matter, too primitive, not worth talking to, not worth fighting. So Earth watched and learned. Jack zoomed in on a Federation warship as it broke apart under Dominion fire. The Dominion ships were large, with sharp edges like knives cutting through space. Federation vessels were smoother, with blue energy fields protecting them. Both were far bigger than any human ship, or so they thought. "Captain, we're getting a distress signal," said Officer Day to the communication station. "Federation diplomatic vessel. They're going down on Outpost 7. Jack frowned. Outpost 7 was a human mining station. If the Federation ship crashed there, the Dominion would follow. "Send the signal to Earth Command. We'll move closer but stay hidden." In the underground war room of Earth Command, Admiral Lisa Moore reviewed the distress call. Gray-haired and battle-scarred from Earth's old wars, she knew what was at stake. "The Federation ship is carrying their ambassador," she told the gathered leaders. "If they die on our outpost, we become targets." General Tom Reed shook his head. "If we help them, we become targets anyway." "We've been preparing for this day for 30 years, Lisa said firmly. "We knew we couldn't stay neutral forever." The room fell quiet. On screens around them, images showed what the public knew: a few small human ships exploring nearby stars. What they didn't show were the massive shipyards hidden in asteroid belts and under the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. "Send rescue ships," Lisa ordered, "but bring the Federation survivors to Luna Base. I want to talk to this ambassador myself." 3 days later, Lisa stood face to face with Ambassador Trell of the Federation. Trell had blue-tinted skin and large eyes that blinked slowly. His ship had been shot down while carrying secret plans. "The Dominion is not just fighting for power," Trell explained weakly. "They are harvesting worlds. Living worlds. Your Earth is on their list." Lisa showed no surprise. Human spies had suspected this for years. "We have been watching your war for decades," she told Trell. "You all thought we were too simple to matter. That gave us time." Trell looked confused. Time for what? Lisa pressed a button on her desk. A hologram appeared showing massive war fleets hidden throughout the solar system. Ships larger than anything the Federation had, with weapons systems neither side had seen before. "Time to build. Time to learn from your mistakes. Time to prepare." Trell's large eyes grew even wider. "You've been building all this while pretending to be primitive." Lisa nodded. "The best place to watch a war is from the shadows, until you're ready to join it." An alarm sounded. A young officer rushed in. "Admiral, Dominion ships have entered the system. They're demanding we turn over the Federation survivors." Lisa stood tall. "Send word to all fleet commanders. Activation code Alpha 1. The time for watching is over." Across the solar system, hidden bases came to life. Massive ships emerged from secret docks. Weapons powered up. Crews rushed to battle stations. The human Armada was about to reveal itself to the galaxy, and the battlefield would fall silent when they did. General Tom Reed walked through the massive underground hangar of Luna Base. Around him, thousands of soldiers prepared for war. Fighter ships were being loaded with weapons. Troops marched in perfect lines. The air smelled of metal and fuel. 20 years ago, I commanded 3 small ships," Tom said to the young officer beside him. "Now look at what we've built." Tom remembered when humans first saw the alien war. Back then, Earth had just started exploring beyond their solar system. The sight of massive alien fleets fighting across the stars had terrified world leaders. "We could have hidden," Tom said. "Instead, we prepared." In a nearby lab, Engineer Maria Rise worked on a small metal disc. Sweat dripped from her forehead as she carefully adjusted tiny parts inside it. "Is it ready?" Admiral Lisa Moore asked as she entered the lab. Maria smiled and held up the disc. "Our newest shield, 10 times stronger than what the Federation uses, and half the size." Lisa took the disc, feeling its weight, "and they have no idea we have this technology." "None," Maria said. "We watched their battles. We saw their shields fail. We learned from their mistakes." The humans had studied both sides of the alien war for decades. They collected broken ships. They intercepted signals. They learned the weaknesses of both the Dominion and the Federation. "The Dominion thinks their weapons can cut through anything," Maria explained, "but they've never faced our shields." Lisa placed the disc back on the table. "And our weapons." Maria pressed a button on her computer. A screen showed a small human ship firing at an asteroid. The beam cut the massive rock in half. "Ready to surprise them," Maria said. In the training center, Commander Ben Wilson watched as human and Federation soldiers practiced together. After the rescue, some Federation fighters had chosen to join the humans. "Your people fight," strangely, said Kell, a tall Federation soldier with dark purple skin. "How so?" Ben asked. "You adapt. You change plans mid-battle," Kell explained. "The Dominion follows strict rules. The Federation has traditions. But humans, you do whatever works." Ben nodded. "That's our advantage. They think in straight lines. We think in circles." An alarm suddenly blared throughout the base. Red lights flashed on the walls. "All commanders report to the war room immediately," a voice announced over the speakers. In the war room, Captain Jack Walker's face appeared on the main screen. He was still on the Vigilant Asterisk, watching the enemy approach. "5 Dominion warships have entered the solar system," Jack reported. "They're demanding we hand over the Federation survivors." Admiral Lisa stood before the gathered commanders. "The Dominion thinks they're coming to punish a weak species. They have no idea what's waiting for them." She turned to General Tom. "Deploy the First Fleet. Show them only 20% of our forces. Let's see how they respond to that." Tom smiled. "They'll be shocked to see we have any forces at all." "Exactly," Lisa said. "Let them underestimate us one last time." In space, hidden ships powered up their engines. Metal armor slid over weapon systems. Soldiers strapped into battle stations. The human fleet had been built in secret. Piece by piece, ship by ship, year after year, while pretending to be weak, they had grown strong. On the bridge of the lead ship, General Tom opened a channel to all vessels. "For decades, we've watched others fight. We've learned their strengths. We've studied their weaknesses. Today, we show the galaxy that humanity is not to be ignored." Across the solar system, hundreds of ships moved into formation. "The Dominion comes to threaten our world," Tom continued. "Let's show them why that was a mistake." The first fleet of Earth's Armada moved forward to meet the enemy. The Dominion warships moved slowly toward Earth. Their dark metal hulls gleamed in the sunlight. These were punishment ships, sent to teach the humans a lesson for helping Federation survivors. "They're sending a message to all ships," said Officer Dave on the bridge of the Vigilant Asterisk. Captain Jack Walker nodded. "Put it through." A face appeared on the screen. The alien had gray skin and sharp teeth. This was Commander Hall of the Dominion. "Primitive humans," Hall said, his voice deep and cold. "You have hidden enemies of the Dominion. Hand them over now, or we will turn your small world to ash." Jack smiled. For years, aliens had called humans primitive. Today, that would change. "This is Captain Jack Walker of Earth Command," he replied calmly. "We activate First Contact Protocol." Hal looked confused. "What protocol?" "You have no." Suddenly, from behind Earth's moon, 30 human warships appeared. They were sleek and dark, moving fast toward the Dominion fleet. Hal's eyes widened in surprise. "Impossible," he whispered. On the lead ship Defiance Major Alex Turner prepared his boarding team. They wore armor that could adapt to any environment. They carried weapons designed to defeat Dominion shields. "Remember your training," Alex told his soldiers. "They think they're stronger, smarter, better. Let's prove them wrong." The human ships moved into attack formation. The Dominion fired first, massive red beams shooting across space. But the human ships didn't explode. Instead, Engineer Maria's new shields glowed blue, absorbing the energy. "Return fire," ordered General Tom from the command center. Human ships fired weapons the Dominion had never seen before. Beams that bent around shields. Missiles that changed direction mid-flight. The first Dominion ship exploded in a burst of light. In orbit around Mars, a Federation battle group jumped into the solar system. They had come to help the humans against the Dominion threat. But what they saw made them stop in shock. The human fleet was not losing. They were winning. Admiral Zen of the Federation watched as human ships moved with incredible speed. Their weapons cut through Dominion defenses like they were nothing. "How is this possible?" Zen asked. "These humans were primitive just days ago." Major Alex's team launched from the Defiance in small, fast ships. They flew toward the largest Dominion warship. "They don't expect us to board them," Alex told his team. "They think we're too afraid." Their ships attached to the hull of the Dominion vessel. Using cutting tools, they made their way inside. Dominion soldiers, surprised by the attack, fell quickly to the human forces. Alex fought his way to the ship's control room. The humans had studied Dominion ship layouts for years. They knew exactly where to go. In Earth Command, Admiral Lisa Moore prepared a message to be sent across the galaxy. "For too long, the Dominion and Federation have fought their war around us," she said into the camera. "For too long, they have ignored humanity, thinking us too weak to matter." On screens across the war room, she watched as the human fleet surrounded the remaining Dominion ships. The Federation battle group held back, watching in awe. "Today, Earth formally enters this war," Lisa continued. "We stand against the Dominion's plan to harvest living worlds. We offer alliance to those who seek peace, and we warn those who threaten our existence." Major Alex raised Earth's flag in the captured Dominion warship. His team had taken it with minimal losses. On all communication channels across the galaxy, battles paused as Lisa's message played. Alien commanders of both sides watched in shock as footage showed the human fleet defeating the Dominion ships. For a moment, the Great Galactic War stopped. The battlefield fell silent as news spread of humanity's unexpected power. Admiral Zen paced the floor of the Federation Council chamber. Leaders from 30 different alien species watched him nervously. "The humans defeated 5 of our best Dominion warships in minutes," Zen reported. "Ships that would have troubled even our largest fleet." The Federation had spent centuries fighting the Dominion. Neither side could gain a clear advantage. Now, a species they had all ignored had changed everything. "How did they build such technology without us noticing?" asked one counselor. "They watched us," Zen replied simply. "While we ignored them, they studied our battles. They learned from our mistakes." In a meeting room on Earth, Dr. Karen Davis stood before a group of Federation officers. As Earth's leading military scientist, she had been asked to explain human tactics. "We call it adaptive warfare," she explained, pointing to battle simulations on the screen. "Your ships fight in set patterns. Dominion ships do the same, but humans change our approach based on what we see." A tall Federation commander raised his hand. "You're saying we're predictable?" Karen nodded. "Both sides have fought the same way for centuries. You've both forgotten how to surprise each other." The aliens looked uncomfortable. Their military traditions were hundreds of years old. The idea of changing them seemed wrong. "This is why you need us," Karen continued. "We bring the one thing this war has been missing: unpredictability." On the captured Dominion warship, now renamed Victory, Commander Ben Wilson led a mixed crew of humans and Federation allies. They patrolled the edge of the solar system, watching for Dominion counterattacks. Incoming transmission from Captain Walker, called out a young officer. Jack's face appeared on the screen. He looked troubled. Ben, my team has been analyzing Dominion communications, Jack said. We've found something strange. Some messages don't match Dominion or Federation patterns. There might be a third player in this war. Ben frowned. A third faction. Working with who? That's what's concerning, Jack replied. They seem to be communicating with both sides, like they're pulling strings. In his command ship, Dominion Commander Hull reviewed footage of the human attack. His superiors were demanding answers about how primitive humans had defeated their forces. Replay the boarding action, Hal ordered. On the screen, he watched human soldiers working together to overcome Dominion defenses. What struck him was how they protected each other, even at risk to themselves. They fight for each other, Hall said quietly, not just for victory. The Dominion trained its soldiers to seek personal glory. The Federation taught rigid formation fighting. But humans fought as one unit, adapting and protecting each other. Their emotion is not weakness, Hal realized. It's their strength. Admiral Lisa Moore met with Earth's leadership to discuss the growing alliance with the Federation. They want to integrate our ships into their fleet, Lisa explained. But I have concerns. Captain Jack's discovery of mysterious communications troubled her. Something about this war didn't make sense. We need to maintain independent command, she insisted. The Federation has fought this war for centuries without winning. We can't just become another part of their military machine. The president nodded. Agreed. We entered this war our way. We'll fight it our way. On a distant Dominion world, a figure in a dark cloak met with Dominion leaders. This was not a Dominion citizen, nor a Federation species. The humans are disrupting the balance, the figure said, its voice oddly metallic. They must be dealt with. We tried, responded a Dominion general. Their technology is beyond what we expected. The figure's eyes glowed in the dim light. Then we must turn them against their new allies. The Federation has secrets the humans would not appreciate. How? Plant the evidence. Make them believe the Federation was planning to harvest Earth before the Dominion. Let them fight each other instead of us. In the shadows, the true enemy moved its pieces on the board, working to keep the galaxy at war. Admiral Lisa Moore stood at the window of Earth Command, watching ships being repaired in orbit. 3 weeks into the war, and already Earth had lost 17 vessels and over 500 crew members. The Senate wants an update, said the president, entering the room. They're concerned about the cost. Lisa turned, her face showing the strain of command. Tell them we're winning battles, but not the war. The Dominion is pulling back, regrouping. They're taking us seriously now. And the people we've lost. Lisa's eyes hardened. Every death weighs on me. But if we hadn't joined this war, the Dominion would eventually have harvested Earth. Everyone would have died. The burden of leadership felt heavier each day. Lisa had sent good people to die. She would send more before this was over. On the Vigilant Captain Jack Walker sorted through captured Dominion and Federation data. For days, he had been tracking communications from the mysterious third faction. Captain, I found something, said Officer Dave, pointing to his screen. Federation battle plans from 6 months ago. They were planning an attack on Earth. Jack studied the documents with growing anger. According to these files, the Federation had considered harvesting Earth's resources before the Dominion could. Download everything, Jack ordered. I need to show this to Admiral Moore. As Dave worked, Jack wondered if their new allies had been planning to betray them all along. In her lab on Luna Base, engineer Maria Reyes watched a simulation of the Dominion's newest weapon. It could crack a planet's crust, making it uninhabitable. They've already used it on 2 Federation worlds, Maria explained to General Tom. If they bring it to Earth, can you stop it? Tom asked. Maria pointed to designs on her screen. I've developed a countermeasure, a field that can absorb and redirect the energy. But we need to test it. Tom nodded grimly. I'll get you the resources, whatever you need. The door opened, and Admiral Lisa entered with Captain Jack. We have a problem, Lisa said. The Federation may not be the allies we thought. Major Alex Turner and his Special Forces team dropped silently onto a small moon in the Dominion territory. Intelligence had located a testing facility for the planet killer weapon. Move fast, Alex told his team over the radio. We need the control codes, and then we plant the charges. The facility was heavily guarded, but the Dominion still underestimated human capabilities. Alex's team used cloaking technology developed by studying both alien faction sensors. They moved like ghosts through the base. Within an hour, they had downloaded the weapon specs and planted explosives. On the front lines, Commander Ben Wilson's mixed fleet of human and Federation ships defended a key star system. Dominion forces had launched a massive attack. They're targeting our Federation allies first, Ben observed. They think we won't risk human ships to save them. The Dominion strategy made sense. Break the alliance by exploiting selfishness. All ships form defensive positions around Federation vessels, Ben ordered. We protect our allies. The Federation commander looked surprised. You would risk your ships for us. Ben nodded. That's what allies do. 3 human ships were destroyed in the battle, sacrificed to save Federation vessels. When it was over, the Federation crews saluted their human allies with new respect. In Earth Command, Admiral Lisa met with Federation Ambassador Trell to confront him with Jack's discovery. You were planning to harvest Earth, she said, showing him the documents. Trell looked genuinely shocked. These are fake. This is not Federation policy. Prove it, Lisa demanded. Trell hesitated, then revealed a secret. There are factions within the Federation. Some wanted to take Earth's resources. They were overruled. By whom? By those who saw humanity's potential. We've been watching you too, Admiral. Some of us believed humans might change everything. Lisa studied his face, looking for lies. And now I know we were right, Trell said. But someone wants to destroy our alliance. Someone who benefits from endless war. The combined human Federation fleet moved through space like a massive storm. Hundreds of ships, their weapons primed, headed toward the Dominion homeworld. After months of fighting, they had pushed the enemy back to their own territory. We're approaching their outer defenses, reported Commander Ben Wilson from the lead ship. On the command vessel, Admiral Lisa Moore studied the battle map. This was the biggest attack in the war so far. If they could reach the Dominion homeworld, they could force peace talks. All ships, prepare for combat, Lisa ordered. Remember the plan. Hit fast, hit hard. The human way of war had changed everything. The Federation had learned to be unpredictable. Together, they had won battle after battle. Far from the main fleet, Captain Jack Walker took the Vigilant on a different mission. For months, he had tracked the mysterious signals of the third faction. Now he had found their source. An ancient ship hidden in the darkness between stars. It's massive, Jack whispered as they approached. The ship was unlike anything built by Dominion or Federation. It looked old, very old. No response to our hails, Officer Dave reported. Take us closer, Jack ordered. They've been manipulating this war for centuries. It's time we found out why. On a Dominion battle station, Major Alex Turner moved silently through the shadows. Disguised as a Dominion worker, he had infiltrated their command structure. His mission: to spread false information and create confusion during the coming battle. Alex placed small devices on computer terminals as he passed. Each one would inject false data into the Dominion defense network. Ships would appear where none existed. Attacks would seem to come from impossible directions. Security alert, a voice called over the speakers. Intruder detected in Sector 7. Alex smiled. That was nowhere near him. His diversions were working. Admiral Lisa's fleet engaged the Dominion defenses. Space lit up with weapons fire, but something was wrong. The Dominion ships were fighting in a strange pattern. They've adapted, Lisa realized. They're using our own tactics against us. Commander Hall of the Dominion had studied human warfare. He had learned their unpredictability and was now using it himself. Lisa quickly changed the attack plan. All ships, fall back to Formation Delta. We need a new approach. The battle became a complex dance, each side adapting to the other's moves. This was no longer the simple war it had once been. Jack's ship approached the ancient vessel. As they drew closer, a beam of light shot out and pulled the vigilant asterisk inside. "Everyone stay calm," Jack ordered as they were drawn into a massive hangar bay. The inside of the ship looked like a museum of space technology. There were pieces from every era of space travel, from every species. A figure appeared before them, glowing slightly. It wasn't solid, but not quite a hologram either. "We have watched you for a long time, human," the figure said, its voice echoing strangely. "You were not supposed to find us yet." "Who are you?" Jack demanded. "We are the first ones. We seeded the galaxy with life. We created both the Dominion and the Federation. And now we test you all." Jack felt cold anger rising. "You've kept this war going on purpose. Billions have died. War is the forge of evolution," the first one replied calmly. "Only through conflict do species advance. Only the worthy survive to inherit the stars." Jack realized the terrible truth. This whole war has been a test, a game to you. Not a game. A necessary trial. And now humans have changed the equation. We must determine if you are worthy to join the galactic community, or if you must be removed. Back at the battle, Major Alex completed his mission. The Dominion command was in chaos. False readings appeared on all their screens. Ships fired at empty space, thinking enemies were there. Commander Hull realized too late what was happening. "The humans have infiltrated our systems," he shouted. "Shut everything down." But it was too late. The combined fleet broke through their defenses, pushing toward the homeworld. Admiral Lisa opened a channel to the Dominion leadership. "This is Admiral Moore of Earth Command. We offer you one chance to surrender." The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. Admiral Lisa Moore stood in the Great Hall of the Dominion capital. After 3 days of tense talks, the Dominion leaders had finally agreed to meet. The room was filled with representatives from both sides, watching cautiously. "Your fleet sits above our homeworld," said the Dominion High Commander, his voice cold. "You think this gives you power to dictate terms." "I'm not here to dictate," Lisa replied calmly. "I'm here to end a war that has gone on too long." She activated a hologram showing the galaxy. Red and blue lights marked territories controlled by each side. "For centuries, you fought over the same worlds, back and forth. Planets destroyed. Species wiped out. And for what?" The Dominion leader had no answer. The endless war had become their way of life. "We offer a different path," Lisa continued. "Peace through shared protection. Cooperation instead of conquest." Aboard the ancient ship of the first ones, Captain Jack Walker faced the glowing figure that claimed to have created life across the galaxy. "You've manipulated both sides," Jack accused, "keeping the war going when they might have found peace." "Peace leads to stagnation," the first one replied. "War drives innovation, advancement." Jack shook his head. "You're wrong. Look what humans achieved in peace. We advanced because we worked together, not because we destroyed each other." The first one studied him. "Yet you built weapons, warships. For defense," Jack insisted. "We saw your experiment raging across the stars and prepared to protect ourselves. But we never wanted war." The being circled Jack, curious. "You believe cooperation is stronger than conflict." "I know it is, and I can prove it." Commander Ben Wilson's fleet engaged the last Dominion forces protecting their homeworld. But these weren't normal Dominion ships. They moved strangely. Their weapons were different. Those are First One technologies, Ben realized. They're helping the Dominion. The advanced weapons tore through human and Federation ships. Ben's fleet was suddenly on the defensive. All ships, fall back, Ben ordered. Regroup at Point Omega. As his fleet retreated, Ben sent an urgent message to Admiral Moore. The First Ones had chosen a side. Major Alex Turner stood face to face with Commander Hall of the Dominion in the control center of the battle station. Both had weapons drawn. Your infiltration was impressive, Hal admitted. Humans are more clever than we thought. This war doesn't need to continue, Alex said. We could be allies instead of enemies. Hall laughed bitterly. The First Ones would never allow that. They need us to fight, to provide data for their experiment. Then we both rebel against them, Alex suggested. Dominion and Federation and humans united. Hall lowered his weapon slightly. Against gods. Impossible. They're not gods, Alex insisted. Just an older species playing with younger ones. And I'm tired of being played with. On the First One ship, Jack showed the ancient being something they had never expected. Recordings of humans helping Federation refugees, of human ships sacrificing themselves to save allies, of enemies becoming friends. This is the true strength of my species, Jack explained. Not our weapons or tactics, our ability to cooperate, to form bonds even with those who are different. The First One watched silently. Your experiment failed, Jack continued. You wanted to find the strongest species through war. But strength isn't about destruction. It's about creation, building instead of breaking. Other First Ones appeared, watching the human with growing interest. Perhaps, the leader said finally, we have been conducting the wrong experiment. As Admiral Lisa negotiated with the Dominion, a message arrived from Captain Jack. The First Ones had agreed to end their manipulation. The war had been their test all along, but humans had changed the rules. Lisa faced the Dominion leaders again. We now know the truth. We've all been pieces in someone else's game. The question is, do we keep playing by their rules, or do we write our own? Across the galaxy, the fighting slowly stopped. Ships powered down weapons. The news spread from world to world. For the first time in 1,000 years, the stars fell silent. Not because of fear or destruction, but because something new had begun. Peace.